Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I unbox Rise of the Gnomes. And I thank you for joining me for this unboxing of Rise of the Gnomes. Rise of the Gnomes is published by August Games and designed by Daniel A. George. I first heard about this game from Will Brown, the Hungry Gamer. He mentioned it as one of his top games last year, and he actually has promo cards available, so if you do want those promo cards, I will put his contact information in my description. This game I bought for myself for my birthday coming up pretty soon, and it came real quick. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. I think it was just a matter of a few days. If you're looking for this game, I will also provide the link to the backer kit where you can order it. Like I said, you just order it and it comes in a few days. I have no affiliation with the publisher. I'm just providing that for you if you're wondering about where to get this. And so let's go ahead and check out the back side of the box here. And so we have a quote from Barry Loaf the Gnome. It says, "My gnome brothers and sisters, my name is Barry Loaf, and I stand before you as the new king and head brewer of Brewmanica. For the past 200 years, these lands have enjoyed prosperity and peace built upon the backs of our creation, beer. We have brewed some of the finest beers ever tasted, the Golden Summer Pilsner, the Frisky Kissing Lager, and the Moldy Fungal Dunkel. These blue ribbon winning brews are gnome creations, and what did we get for our efforts? Just gold and the occasional accolade. We deserve more, and yet others are attempting to establish their own breweries and compete in our sacred industry. We have awoken Gloomtail, the Eternal, from her slumber, and soon she will feast upon our rivals. We shall take this opportunity to rebuild our brew empire from the ashes of destruction. The time of dwarves, humans, elves, orcs, halflings, and goblins has come to an end. It's time for the rise of gnomes." Wow, that sounds great. Alright, so there's 4 ways to play: solo, cooperative, competitive, and cutthroat. And there's player races with unique abilities and attributes, and strategic gameplay with 7 levels of difficulty. Very interesting. And it looks like an area control game here. Alright, let's see what's inside. Alright, so we got a bunch of rule books here. So this is a new player guide, and it suggests to play a cooperative or solo game to learn the rules. Well, that's easy for me because I'll be playing it solo. And so it gives tips for beginners and the game setup and everything, and that's great. And then here's a rules reference. So it has player board clarifications, explanation of different upgrades, more upgrades, allies cards, more allies cards, judge cards, game board tiles, and more game board tiles. So this I'll just keep with me as I play for easy reference. And so we have 2 rule books here. One's for competitive and cutthroat rules. I'm not going to go over this book because I'm just interested in the solo here. So we'll look at the cooperative and solo book here. And so in the solo mode here, you win if you have more victory points than the gnomes at the end of the game. Here's a list of components. Here's the game setup, and the further game setup, and more setup. Explanation of turn and game phases. Game phases continued. You have card drafting, assigning meeples, and that's continued here. Continued here as well. And then we have action cards and gnome cards. This talks about the dragon movement, and then how the gnomes act on the board. In phase 5, where you score points and collect gold. Resetting the round, and end game scoring. And here's some solo and co-op game advice. And then a reference on the back. Alright, so we have a bunch of punch boards here. Looks like a score tracker here, and the gnome board here. And a bunch of brewery tokens. Here's an action board. Bunch of other tokens here. Some of the tiles. This is what they look like on the back. More tiles. I like the art. More tiles. Alright, so we have some wooden components here. I'll set these aside and open these in a minute. We have player aids here, and those look nice. And then here are the different factions. Alright, we have humans, dark elves, dragonborn, vampires, pirates, ogres, free gnomes, half-orcs, wizard folk, leprechauns, and satyrs. And then on the other side, we got a whole bunch more. So we have pixies, tree men, elves, centaurs, barbarians, halflings, warlocks, highborn, orcs, ratmen, merfolk, goblins, trolls, giants, and dwarves. Wow, that's a lot of different factions. That's pretty cool. It looks like we got some more wooden components here. And then a couple of decks of cards here. And the insert looks nice. It even has indentations telling you where to place things in here. So that's very convenient. So yeah, everything looks great. Alright, in this bag we have standard wooden cubes here. They look fairly good. Different colors for each of the factions and the gnomes. In this bag here we have little building tokens as well. Nice and thick tokens. Very chunky. Great. And in this bag here we have a bunch of the little meeples, and it looks like they're carrying beers. So that's great. And then we have a couple trackers here and some little beer barrels as well. And those look great. And last but not least, we have this big old dragon token here. Doesn't he look great? Alright, then we have some of the cards here. This is a starting player card, and these are the action cards here. So they give you various actions like placing cubes in different places. Barrel delivery, caravan, expand, beer competition. Alright. And these are the judge cards here. And so they're going to judge based off of these criterias at the bottom. And these look pretty cool. I don't know if I can pronounce their names. Well, that one's easy. That's the Duke of Drink. Or how about Magic Fingers? Oh gosh. Alba Boobag. Sir Cluck. You Are Goldpot. Tombo the Brewer. Dash Regals. Baron Dryer. And then Luther Blood Gnome. Oh gosh. And then we have a bunch of allies cards. So this one's Mechanical Gnomes. There's Sasquatch. Tree Folk. Farmers. Plains Innkeeper. Merfolk Traders. Halfling Architect. Brewers Guild. And Dwarf Highborn. And much more. And then last we have the Gnome Automa cards here that are going to tell you what the gnome does, where the dragon moves, what priorities they take for tiles and other things. And so this looks really good. Looks like a fairly straightforward Automa. Hopefully there won't be too much of a flow chart to follow. Kind of reminds me of the Scythe Automa a little bit. So everything looks good here as well. And so there you have it. That was the unboxing of Rise of the Gnomes. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. And remember, if you're interested in this game, check out the links I provided. You can get the promo cards from the Hungry Gamer, or get the game itself through BackerKit. Please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank you very much for watching Tabletop for One. Have a great night.